Hello, guten Tag, and welcome to another YouTube video. Well, it's not a breakdown, it's not a tutorial, it's not even a story time. I guess it's one of these announcement videos. I don't know what you're thinking. You're thinking this is one of these clickbaity titles. Oh, I'm quitting wedding filmmaking for only doing commercial work from now on. Or I'm venturing from this into this. Or even I'm quitting commercial filmmaking and becoming a full-time YouTuber. But this is only the half-truth, and I will continue doing YouTube, but unfortunately this is not going to be a full-time gig from now on. And yes, I will close my production company here in Austria, and in this video I want to tell you why I did it, what happened that led up to me making this drastic decision, what I'm going to do in the future, which isn't even that interesting, but also the kind of state of mind that I think commercial filmmaking is in right now. And just letting you know, this video isn't scripted, there will be no b-roll or hardly any b-roll, and this is just me talking to you guys and explaining myself and where I'm coming from. I don't even know where to start, so let's back up a little. 2020 was obviously a tough year for basically everyone. For me, business-wise, it wasn't. It was actually an okay, if not even a great year. A lot of people couldn't spend their marketing budgets on anything but video and online marketing, and so they did. So this is where I gained some traction with my video production company. Then in 2021, that was probably my best year, and we had so many new clients, and existing clients also wanted to up their budgets, and we had lots of commercial work. I started hiring people. I had this new account where they promised us lots and lots of work, like literally hundreds of videos every month. So I started investing into the company. I hired people, I set up a server, etc., etc. That deal unfortunately went through, but not before still promising me work for years and years to come. But unfortunately, it wasn't even their fault, but there was something about a license they didn't get or something where a law changed in their country. So whatever, I didn't get the account. But in 2021, I still had a lot of work, and it was probably my best year ever. 2022 started off a little rougher, but then gained a lot of traction as well. New clients, existing clients, lots of work, filming for a documentary that actually won an Oscar, so lots of work coming in, and again, a really good year. So good that I had so much work that by the end of 2021 I was pretty much burned out, and I didn't work for the last 4 months of 2022, and I actually took some time off, flew to Las Vegas, played some poker, and didn't want to do any filmmaking for a while just because it was too much work the last couple of years. And then 2023 started. It didn't start great, and it didn't get any better. Almost all of our existing clients bailed on us because they were afraid of inflation, or maybe some economy crisis, or because it just wasn't worth just spending so much money for their video production, and they just realized this later. And I will talk about this later in the video because this is a really interesting part of the state of filmmaking that we are in right now. Fortunately, I did have this YouTube channel, and I worked on some more digital products. I started doing my online course, and there were some money coming in through the YouTube channel. But just to put it in perspective, the revenue I made this year in 2023 from commercial work is less than 10% than I made in either 2021 or 2022. I talked to a lot of other people in the industry, and they all basically told me the same, that everybody is afraid of an economy crisis, inflation, or they just used up all their budget during Corona and now they, well, don't have any budget anymore. I also had some really frustrating interactions with some clients, existing clients as well as new clients, or well, potential new clients, where they ended up ghosting me, and it was just a lot of wasted energy and planning and time without anything actually coming about. I mean, this is nothing new, and this happens in this industry a lot, but it was just a bit too much on top of an already really frustrating year. I also had my business closed upon me, and I was officially declared bankrupt, and this is a video I uploaded a couple of weeks ago, so if you're interested in that, just watch this too. But overall, 2023 was just really stressful when it comes to commercial work and my business in general. So is this the reason why I'm closing my production company? Because of one big year and some existing clients bailing and not a lot of new traction coming? Not really. because I could feel this happening already in 2021 and 22. Because a lot of our clients, the existing ones and the new ones, they just didn't feel sustainable. Let me explain. We worked with a lot of new companies, startups, and also even existing companies that were a little on the smaller side. And they spend a lot of money for our video productions. Some spend ad campaigns in the $20,000 to maybe even $60,000 to $100,000 range. And I never really felt like they're getting their money worth. And this wasn't the problem of our videos not being good enough or anything, but just spending so much money in 2023 for these middle-sized companies just doesn't make a lot of sense. Yes, the video production is absolutely amazing and they're getting great quality from us, but is it worth it? Does it actually make them more money? I remember one client that we already shot the third campaign for, and I actually asked them afterwards, after they basically invested $100,000 in us, what do you think these videos are for? What are you trying to gain with these videos? And the client answer was, I don't really know. Brand recognition? And that's where I could tell they're not getting their money back. Like their product just doesn't justify spending so much money on video production. And yes, the quality is great, but if they were to hire somebody way cheaper, they would achieve the exact same thing. I didn't tell it to them. I mean, I hinted at it a little bit because I also don't want to just take somebody's money without providing value. And well, sure enough, they replaced me with a one person with a gimbal and a Sony camera shortly after. And this isn't the only client. We had multiple clients that we shot content for over the years. We started their YouTube channel and they invested 5,000 to 10,000 euros every month into their YouTube channel. But again, it wasn't worth it. And they replaced us with one person with a gimbal and a Sony camera. And I can't even blame them because it makes more sense to them. Because the client or the potential client or the leads, they don't see the difference. There is a difference in filmmaking, obviously, because if you're spending 1,000 or 10,000 on a video, you should see the difference. But the normal people, the clients, the people that matter, they don't really see that big of a difference. And maybe if they do, it's often not enough to justify the costs. And this is a problem that I'm seeing in the current state of filmmaking when it comes to commercial filmmaking right now. There is no middle class. And right now, my business is middle class. So what do I mean by this? So there's basically three classes. There's the lower class, the middle class, and the higher class. And by lower class, I don't mean any diss to anyone. This is not an attachment of value. This is just basically the system as I see it. So the lower class is just a solo filmmaker. They have a camera that isn't really too expensive. It's not a Red or an Ari. It's like a Sony or a Canon camera. They have a gimbal, they have a tripod, they have one or two lights, a couple lenses, that's it. So they just go out and charge between 500 and 1,000 per day, maybe even 1,200 per day, but that's pretty much it. And this makes sense for a lot of businesses. They just want to create some content and it's worth paying 500 to 1,000 for a video or maybe even 1,500. They can get it out to social media, maybe they get some snippets, maybe they even get some pictures because the one person shoots pictures as well as video. And that makes a lot of sense for a lot of businesses. And as a solo filmmaker, this is also a decent way of making a living. You won't be able to scale your business, but you will keep your costs low and you will have your day rate and you can get a lot of clients because again, you're on the cheaper side, which is totally fine. And then people will hire you continuously, sustainably, and you can make a living doing what you love. Then there's the middle class, and I would say this is where I'm right now. We shoot in teams of 3 to maybe 8 people. We have a DP, a gaffer, an assistant, somebody that does the sound. We shoot with higher quality cameras, but not an Arri Alexa, but maybe a Red Komodo or a Red Komodo X. We have cine lenses and a focus puller and all that kind of stuff. So we can raise our production, but we're not really up there in the high class yet. The problem with this is there's only a very specific type of client for this that can afford spending, let's say between $10,000 and $50,000 for a video or a couple of videos for their business and still make that work. Again, there are those clients, but they're rare. The problem for me on the production side is that I do have more overhead because my equipment gets more expensive. Maybe I even need a studio space. I also need to hire a lot of people. So when I'm showing up on set, I do rent out a lot of my gear, and this is how I make money. But I also, well, had to pay for all of this gear, but I'm not really making a lot of money on the people that I hire. So if I have a crew of 5 people and we need to rent a location and maybe travel somewhere, this is all money that's not going into my pocket. This is just money that's going into my business, but then it also goes out to all these ventures and people. The problem here is that I priced myself out of the low tier group. I can't justify charging 500, 600 bucks to just shoot one day with a red camera and cine lenses and a big gimbal that I can't even pull focus on myself. The second problem is that I don't really want to do these jobs anymore because I kind of progressed as a filmmaker, so to speak. So if I'm getting hired to shoot something at noon, outdoors, but we don't have the budget to actually diffuse the sunlight because that would require a couple more people, and then I end up with a product that has really harsh shadows and I don't really like the end result, then this is not really what I want to do. And then there's the highest tier, and this is the big production companies. And as soon as you encounter a client that actually has the budget, you never really reach out to the client itself. It's always an ad agency in between, and they take up a lot of the budget. And then you have productions with 20 to 30 people plus. And well, I could be hired as a DP or a gaffer or a first AC, but then I'm not really making much more money than the solo filmmaker with their small camera and a gimbal. So it basically, for me as a filmmaker, even the highest tier is the same pricing as the lowest tier, unless you own the production company. But that means a huge investment, lots of risk, and again, you're not really being creative anymore. You're just managing a business and you're managing people and all your overhead. And this is also not what I want to do, because I want to be a filmmaker. I want to create. So this right here just doesn't let me see a future in these middle-class filmmaking companies, which I'm a part of. I don't want to go to the lower tier anymore. I might want to dabble into some bigger productions and being hired as a DP or a first AC, but this is also not where I see myself in the foreseeable future and just doing this. You're always trading your time for money, you're always reliant on clients hiring you, and especially here in this country, there isn't a lot of this going around. Another thing to note here, and I hinted at it earlier, is that Austria is probably the worst country to start a company in. And that is because of all the social security, as well as all the taxes and all the other money that the government takes from you. And again, I don't want to be too negative because I actually like this system in general, and I like a social system where the stronger help the weaker, and it all makes sense. I just think in Austria it's a little bit off balance because you pay so much in social security and taxes that at the end of the day, there isn't a lot of money left. And that to me is a little demotivating. If you have a great 2021 and an awesome 2022, but then your 2023 isn't that great, there isn't that much money left from the good years to keep you afloat on the bad years. And this is not how business should be. So where does this leave me in my filmmaking career? Well, one way would be to just say I stop commercial filmmaking and concentrate on my YouTube channel, because here I can just make work whatever I want to do in small teams with other creatives. I can shoot spec commercials, I could do narrative work, short films, even my own documentaries. And then I could monetize this via, well, the YouTube platform, sponsored videos, my own digital products, and that would be a great way to make a living. And there is a decent amount of revenue coming in through this YouTube channel, and this is all thanks to you guys, and I highly appreciate every one of you for just watching my videos, hitting the like button, subscribing to my channel, or even clicking on an affiliate link in the description, or maybe even buying a digital product from my store in the description below. But the unfortunate truth is, it's not enough money right now for me to actually make a living just doing YouTube. And this is also due to the fact that I don't want to have the pressure on me. I need to create something for the algorithm, for YouTube. I need to be consistent and upload all the time. I want to do YouTube, and this is why I started, for me to be creative, to do the projects that I want to do. But if this becomes my sole income revenue, then I have this pressure of needing to perform, needing to monetize everything, and maybe even take sponsored deals that I don't fully 100% support just to be able to make rent. Speaking of selling digital products, now that the holiday season is upon us, I will start running a huge sale for my online store starting today until December the 25th. And everything in my online store will be 50% off. And that includes my online interview masterclass, as well as all the digital product contracts, as well as LUTs and presets, and even the one-on-one coaching. So make sure to get the percentages while they're still here. And there's a link down in the description below. So now for the probably boring part for most of you, what is my plan for the future? Well, some of you might know, most of you probably didn't, is that I was a professional poker player before I started my production company and before I started filmmaking in general. And I made a living playing poker for 10 years prior. And this is where I'm going back to, because I love playing poker. I took some time away from it, but now I decide to split my time between Vegas and Vienna. Whenever I'm in Vegas, I will not do any filmmaking, I won't even bring a camera, and I will fully concentrate on just playing poker. But when I come back to Vienna, then I will still do YouTube, and I will invest my time into this YouTube channel and go full wholeheartedly out on just creating the coolest project with the highest quality I can do with a small crew and just like-minded friends. And honestly, even though this was one of the hardest decisions I had to make in a long time, now I'm really excited for it. Because commercial work was always so restricting and limiting, and you were always dependent on clients and their schedule. But now I can make my own schedule again. I can go to Vegas whenever I like, I can stay however long I want to, and I can also create whatever I want, wherever I want on this YouTube channel. But neither really puts any pressure on me or any responsibility to keep uploading or to keep delivering for some clients or be somewhere at a certain amount of time, and I'm really looking forward to this new gained freedom. Alright, I hope you liked this video, and I would be really interested in your opinion on how the current state of filmmaking is in 2023. If I'm right or if I'm totally delusional and I'm absolutely wrong, let me know down in the comments below, and please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. And subscribe for more, because there will be really cool behind the scenes and cinematography breakdowns coming as early as January. And I hope to see you on the next one.